Hello guys, how's it going? So this is a new video series about learning C# programming language. In case you don't know, C# is kind of like a hybrid language between C++ and Java. So it has certain, well, it looks quite similar to Java, but it has certain advanced features from C#, C++. So yeah, so let's begin. Before we start making our first Hello World program, what I'll do is I'll introduce you to the IDE. The IDE that I am going to use is Visual Studio 2012. You can use any version of Visual Studio from 2010 to 2000, any version of any version of Visual Studio. I'll recommend using the latest one because it will have the latest features and that kind of stuff. But if you're building on some projects which has to be compatible and that kind of stuff, then yeah, you can just go with the older one. But for this tutorial, it wouldn't matter which one you use because yeah, everything's okay. So I've already created a project here. I haven't written this code. This is what you get when you first create a project. You get a file called program.cs, which is the first entry point of the application. So when you press start, which you can see here, that one, when you press that button, it looks for this file within the project and it executes this method within the project. Now if you have done Java, then you would know that this method is always the one which gets executed first. So yeah, that's the static void main method with arguments. These are the command line arguments which are passed to the program. You do not have to worry about this at this stage. To the right we have our Solution Explorer, which is kind of cool. It has like everything which is in your project. It looks neat. It doesn't have any kind of clutter, if you expand the program.cs, you see the program class. This is the program class. So that so as you see, I have selected this and it has highlighted that. So yeah, that is the program class. If we expand that, we'll see our main method, main string void. That's our main method, and I have highlighted this, and C# has highlighted the actual method name for me. So if I double click that, it would take me straight to the main method. Easy and simple? Yes. Right, so let's start coding a bit about let's not worry too much about how things work. Let's just start coding. So when you first create a project, you will have this file, so you'll just have to open this file and start coding. And this is the main method that gets executed, so anything that you write in here will get executed when you press F5 or if you press the start button. So so the main difference between here with Java, comparing this and Java, is in Java you have system.out.println. In C++ you have cout. In C# you have console.writeline. So I'm just going to do that. Whoops, that was a horrible typo. Console.writeline. Hello world. So you say console.writeline, you open the brackets inside, enclosed in double quotes, you type what you want to say, and you close the quotes, close the open bracket that you opened, and always a line ends with a semicolon. So this is the statement, so it ends with a semicolon. This is a method definition, so that doesn't end with a semicolon because it starts with a curly bracket and ends with a curly bracket. That's the class. It starts with a curly bracket, ends with a curly bracket. It encloses the method. You cannot have a method outside of a class. That's one thing to remember. Also, you cannot have a class outside a namespace. That is like a package name. Like in Java, you have packages. I'm not sure what you have in C#, but in Java, you have packages. In C#, you have a namespace. A namespace is like a package. Yeah, it's like a package. You can have several classes within a namespace. However, under one namespace, you cannot have two classes of the same name. You can have two separate namespaces, and in those two namespaces, you can have two classes having the same names. That doesn't matter. So you have a namespace A, and it has a class X, and you have a namespace B, and that has a class Y. If namespace B also has a class X, it would not matter because they are in separate namespaces. So that's another thing to note here. Right, so we have written a line of code, console write line hello world. Let's run this. Press F5, and you see a flash, and everything's gone. Why? Because it looks this program, executes this this method, executes this line, closes the method, closes the program, and it just exits. So that closes the command line interpreter, or command line, or command prompt. Yes, command prompt. It exits the command prompt. So in order to avoid that thing, what you can do is you can write console.readline, and what that does is that reads the line from the console. So it waits for you to press enter or press anything, and it then closes the command prompt window. So now we run the program, you'll see this, and hello world, there we go. So that was our first hello world program. I will close this session now, and we will continue with more stuff like variables and that kind of stuff in our next tutorial. So till then, bye bye, see ya, and have a great one.